Good morning, everyone. Erica with Aurora Heart Healing, and today we are going to be doing a collective healing. This is going to be in regards to numbness, and we're just going to begin because I've already been getting a lot of overwhelming sensations in my body. So, like always, I will be scrying for, using my pendulum, the energies that we need to know to find what we are looking for. Okay, so I am going to say I don't like to get political, but there is going to be a lot to do with the collective on how we are feeling, people feeling towards each other. And I do want to say that because there's been this overwhelming sense that it has to do with the current events right now. Mm, okay. So the first energy that we are that is coming through is the oral character. And don't fixate too much on the names. A lot of these are psychological terms, and it doesn't mean that you are an oral person or anything like that. It just is the term. Not enough to go around. Feeling like there's not enough to go around, which can create a sense of defensiveness for people. Um, and I'm writing this down so that I can write it into the description, and then you're able to self-reflect on how this might be affecting you. There's a lot of defensiveness, hostility as well. When we think about that mindset of there's not enough to go around, then we are going to act from survival mode, truly act from that space that we are not able to have what we need for us to survive. So you think of, like, I wish I remembered that book where, oh, the King of the Flies, I think it is, or Fly King, something of that nature. I don't remember, but basically it is an island where everyone is just pretty much survival of the fittest. And what exactly do they do during that time when you're in survival mode and you don't see something positive come from it? Then it's really unfortunate because you can be in attack mode instead of come from a place of grounded, balanced perspective. Okay, we're going to keep going. Okay. The next part is a detective energy. And this energy comes in the space of, I am suffering, so I have to find the reason why I am suffering. And a lot of times when we come at it in that space from that perspective, then we are blaming others for our suffering. And we are putting the responsibility of managing how we feel about our own internal world on someone else. So that detective energy, it's really saying, I have to find why I am suffering. And the suffering probably is not within me, it is within society or people around me. So this energy is really trying to, there's a sense of longing. It's interesting. There's like this desire, but there's also this pain, this sorrow within it, of why can't I get everything right? Why can't things be easier? And I understand that because life is not easy. Life is very messy. And when we begin to embrace our humanity within that, that life is messy. Life can be very difficult. We can struggle and face hardships. And it doesn't mean that it's our fault. And it doesn't mean that we are bad people. I think a lot of people can get into this rut of bad things keep happening, so I'm a bad person. That's not the case. If you listen to Carolyn Mice, she talks about how we are all suffering in one way or another. One of the emotions that came up yesterday for someone when I was working in Expo, they pulled a card and it was comparative suffering. And when we compare our suffering to others, it goes again to there's not enough to go around. There's not enough good to go around. Yes, there is. We make the good. When we look at these things, like if we have that challenging mindset of there's not enough to go around, how is that creating defensiveness within us? How is that creating hostility within us? How is that, who are we targeting to say, I'm going to point the finger at you? Those are things that are very important to recognize and realize, because we are truly getting a deep understanding and perspective of how we ourselves are longing for difference. We are in pain because of this. There's this deep sense of yearning. Ooh, I'm getting yearning for the fulfillment of your desires. And that is so human. I understand what you feel. I understand how that goes. To really wish that someone could understand you, not just make it all better, but to just sit with it, sit with the discomfort. It makes me think about, I just did a Cambo session, a ceremony, and I have never been so uncomfortable in one sitting in my life in so many ways. If you don't know, Cambo is a frog poison that you put in your body, and it helps you purge out toxins, and it detoxes you on an emotional level, but it also detoxes you on the physical level. And when I say all of the discomfort. I did Sanangwa, which was a eye drop that is extremely intense. It makes your eyes feel burning, like they're burning. I did Hape, which is a nasal inhalation. I don't know what would be the appropriate way to say it, but Hape. And that was a burning sensation within the sinuses. After I did these things, they were uncomfortable, but the discomfort was helpful. I purged things out that through my EMDR sessions, I could feel within my body. I could sense that they were there, especially after some of the most intense sessions that I've had through EMDR, which were very much so related to childhood trauma and how that has affected my life today. And I was able to physically purge that out. That discomfort helped me grow in a way that I didn't really know I could grow in. But sitting with it, understanding it, and no, I'm not saying everyone should go and do Cambo. What I am saying is that's not for everybody, but it is really great. Beside the point, the way that you feel, that discomfort, if you allow for yourself to sit in it, to look around, to just pause for just a moment, pause with me. think about the thought, the statement, there's not enough to go around. What does it make you feel? There's not enough to go around. For me, there's a pit in my stomach, like this hunger. But for me, also, it's a hunger for people to know that there's plenty. To me, when I think of not enough to go around, the discomfort is for me coming from the fact that people actually believe that somehow the resources that we have around us wouldn't sustain us. If you have an apple tree and you do not give the apples away and you allow for those apples to just die on your tree or die on the lawn, we have wasted resources. We are wasting resources left and right every single day. So is that thought not enough to go around truth or based in fallacy or even fear? When we stop, think about it. If we come from a grounded perspective, we see that there is plenty around us. I remember, and yes, America is very different, but we can also be very the same as well. I remember walking down the street in Central America in Nicaragua from where my family is from, and they have loofahs that I didn't know loofahs came from a plant. That was not a knowledge that I had. But I remember walking down the street and seeing loofahs on the floor and the astonishment that this grows from the earth was, wow, I did not even recognize, I didn't even know that that was something. And we could be sustaining ourselves with the things that are already around us. So the thought that not enough to go around, the hostility that comes from, oh, people are taking my resources, the defensiveness of, well, I'm working hard. Why can't you? Or why do you have it so easy? Whatever the case may be on why this defensiveness and hostility is coming through, it is a very real feeling, but also when we stop to think about it, why? And then that longing, sorrow, and yearning, which is the humanity, the existence of ourselves. Hmm. So a mental grasp, that is when someone feels like one person is either good or bad. There's no, what the reality is, there's this mixture, this gray area of things that we might do that hurt people, not with the intention of being malice, with any malice, but it happens. That happens. So this mental grasp is when you think everything is bad or everything is good, everything is black or everything is white. And it doesn't allow for that gray area of human. Humanity is, again, messy. So, how can we expect human beings to be always either good or bad? Yesterday, I worked from 8 a.m. and was up earlier to about 6 o'clock. And I was missing my kids. I got home. I got them some fast food because honestly, I was just exhausted and tired and ready to go to bed. And I went and I got them that. We sat down for dinner. We hung out. We talked for the time that it took us to eat dinner and finish our conversations. Cleaned up just a little bit. And then I told my kids, I'm really sorry, but I have to go to bed. I'm exhausted. And they were like, my daughter gave me a hug and she's, oh my God, Mom, you're really hot. And I was like, yeah, I was out in the sun all day and I was outside and I'm ready for bed. And she was like, yeah, go to bed. And I went to bed. I went to sleep for about 3 hours and then I woke up again and it was late. So my younger daughter, she was awake and she comes in and she's just like, Mom, I want to show you this dance. And I just looked at her and was like, oh, baby, can we please do it tomorrow? Mommy's just so exhausted today. And she said, but I really, really want to show you. And I said, okay, I understand that. And I will tell you that I would really love to pay attention and be present when you show me this dance. And right now, I won't be able to give you my full attention. And I really want to be able to be present for you. But I'm just so tired that I don't feel like I'll be able to really appreciate the dance if you do it right now. And she looked at me and she said, I really want to show you the dance, but I want you to be here when you do see it. So, okay, Mom, we can do it tomorrow. And that was so human in that moment for me. Like, I didn't want to beat myself up for not doing it. I could have pulled myself up by my bootstraps and made myself do it. But I also understood and felt that compulsion to be there. And when I got to see her do it, because I got another second wind of energy and was able to see it a little bit afterwards. But when I was able to see her in her element, it was important for me to just be there, to watch and to actually be present. And when we think things are just black or white, well, if I don't do this right now, then this person is going to hate me, or any of those things of, well, there's not enough energy, there's not enough time, there's not enough, whatever it is. She decided, well, if there's not enough presence, I would rather wait. I would prefer to wait for you to be fully present with me than to just take the little bit of energy that you have. And in that moment, she probably doesn't see it the way I do, but I do see it in that sense that there was not enough, and that was okay. And it wasn't her fault and it wasn't my fault. It was just the state of who we were in that moment. And when we truly put down our swords, the hostility, when we even notice where our feelings of not enough are coming from, it's usually the lack of expression of what we're truly feeling inside. And when we actually engage and take the time for ourselves to express what we are feeling, what we are thinking, what our words are actually meaning to us, then we're able to come with more compassion toward another person. It truly is the ability to be come at someone with more compassion, because I've been there. She probably has been there too with me. I've told her, you're really tired and I think you're very grumpy right now. And I think that it's better for you to go to bed because you're upset with me, but it's because you're tired. Or what is it that you're feeling right now that you decided or felt like you needed to lash out on me? All of those things can be overwhelming for someone, but also breed that feeling of there's not enough of whatever it is. There's not enough attention. There's not enough love. There's not enough opportunity. In reality, the second that we shift our perspective to understand that there is enough when we make room for that, when we stop, pause, and say, why is this belief making me feel, and where is my action coming from those feelings? It is very freeing because you take yourself out of blame. You take yourself out of dehumanization, and you bring yourself into a self-compassionate space of, me too. I'm human, and this is what I am, and this is who I am. And if I'm hurting, then say I'm hurting, but lashing out. These thoughts, this defensiveness, this hostility can lead to us lashing out. And when that happens, there really isn't enough to go around. There really isn't, because we see it as there's no one ever going to be able to share the burden with us. That feels very heavy. Not being able to share your truth, not being able to share what you feel. That sounds like a very lonely experience. And if we come back from that space, then there isn't enough to go around within ourselves. So I hope that this helps. This left off on a more somber note, but I feel like that is what you need right now, is to see how that thought of not enough has created a lot of discord within not just yourself, but within the life around you, and what perspectives will help shift that from one of black and white and this sense of longing and yearning and feeling like you're the only one suffering. Or we can move to compassion for ourselves first by sharing, this is my fear. I'm scared that there's not enough love. I'm scared that there's not enough money. I'm scared that there's not enough attention. I'm scared. Because all of it comes down to, I'm scared. I hope that you self-reflect. Please let me know in the comments below what you thought of this. I do really enjoy collective healings, and I know that this does impact people in so many different ways. And I just hope that this video ends with some lightness for you, some compassion that goes to you for you, because you deserve it. You deserve to know that you are human, which means you can put your guard down. You don't have to come down from a place of defensiveness or hostility. And when you actually see why, you'll be able to be disarmed. And then there will definitely be enough to go around, not just for you, because you've made that space for yourself, but for everyone around you too, because you have more capacity to love for them as well. Blessings, love and light, and embracing the shadow that lives within all of us, because that little part of us just wants to be heard, but doesn't know how to express. With love for everyone, have a great day.